What's up, Raveraide fam? Welcome to another episode of the Raveraide podcast with your host, Ty Hardy. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about what I'm aiming and intending to teach you in this podcast, the relationship that I am cultivating with you as a listener, because I want to make sure that I'm very crystal clear on what it is that I'm teaching and what it is that I am intending to assist you with through your journey here in life on this planet. And so I want to take a moment to express my overwhelming love and gratitude for each and every one of you guys who tune in on a daily basis and a weekly basis to hopefully gain valuable tactical information that's going to help you ascend, become more self-actualized and more self-loved, because that's what this planet needs right now. And more than anything, the quicker that we heal the people who live on this planet, the quicker that we heal the humans, heal ourselves from inside, the quicker that we're going to heal our planet, we're going to heal each other, we're going to heal the world and make it a better place. And that's what we're not talking about enough. That's what we're not implementing enough, on a day-to-day basis from person to person, because we're so stuck in fear paradigms and worry and stress and lack and all these lower vibrational frequencies. And my job and my sole purpose of creating this podcast is to assist you to see life through a different paradigm and through a different perspective, through the stories and experiences that I've had in my life. Hopefully they're going to serve as a motivating catalyst or a different perspective that's going to allow you to see the things in your life a little bit differently and allow for you to become what it is that you're truly capable of becoming. And so, hopping into today's episode, I want to talk about the mission of what I'm doing and what we're doing here at Raveraide, because it's so much less about the product. Yes, we have an amazing product. Yes, we do what we do in regards to supplementation, because we understand that taking good care of your body and priming your body for transcendental experiences is a real thing. And we want to put you in a position where your body feels great all the time and you're thriving and your mental clarity is there and your energy levels are there. And it's all being done naturally and giving our bodies the ability, the opportunity to heal themselves. So then that way we can step into what it is that we're capable of being. And I'll share a little bit of a story. Like, for a long time, I wasn't healthy. For a long time, I didn't have the mental clarity. For a long time, I was depressed and disassociated from my reality. And I wasn't really living. I was living in a subconscious program that I didn't even realize that I was living in. I was just going through the motions of life. And I suspect that at some point in your life, there's a potential that you may have been experiencing something similar. And I'm going to share the things that I've done, the things that I do on a daily basis, the epiphanies and realizations that I've had that hopefully can help you, turn that corner, turn the page, and step into what it is that you're capable of. And so I'm going to tell an interesting story right now about something that really motivated me to start Raveraide. And it's something that happened a year before Raveraide even happened. It happened on the same weekend in which my friend had that seizure at EDC and, all the crazy things that happened. There was an experience that I had when I was walking through the festival at EDC, and I was right in the middle of the entire festival. And I've touched on this on a couple other podcasts, but I really want to go a little bit deeper here and explain the meaning and the significance of this now as I sit here on this podcast with you. And so basically, I'm walking through and I'm by myself. I'm cruising around. I had left a couple sets because I need to spend some alone time. I was a little bit overstimulated, which is something that I frequently have dealt with in the past, just with all the energy at music festivals. And I'll explain more on that later about, what the actual causation of that is. So I can hopefully help you if you experience something similar to that. But basically, I was walking around and there was a point in which I walked through about what I would say is like the middle of the festival. I don't remember exactly where I was at, but I know that I was heading more towards like circuit grounds and base pod from the grandstands on the northern side of the raceway. And so basically, I'm walking and I'm having this very psychedelic experience, and I won't go into too much about like what I was experiencing and what I was using, but more or less about what the experience unfolded for me, because it really carries a lot of significance. And I want you to know that this is a big motivator for why I created Raveraide. So I'm walking through this group of people, and there's a bunch of people sitting on the ground, and it kind of looked like people were just sitting and hanging out. But then I started realizing so many people were having what looked like bad trips, bad experiences. It looks like they were going through something that was less than ideal, something that you wouldn't really want to be going through necessarily at a music festival, EDC of all places. And it just looked like there were some people that were struggling. And there was people that had their friends there that were like kind of rubbing their back or supporting them, or maybe they weren't feeling good. But point being, they weren't having the experience that they wanted to have when they went there. Because anytime you go to a music festival, you want to have the best experience of your life. You want your body to feel great. You want to feel in tune, in alignment, high energy, feeling good, experiencing the music that you love with the people that mean the most to you. And so these people weren't having that experience. It's very clearly apparent to me. And as I'm walking through, it kind of just like almost felt like, like almost like a graveyard of people who were lost is the best way to explain it. Myself included. I, at that time, kind of felt lost in life, and I was kind of like all over the place. Like I knew I needed to do something. I wanted to do something significant, but I had no idea what I was doing. And what I was doing outside of festivals was enough. It was more than what I had been doing in years prior, but I was still looking for something. I couldn't figure out what that thing was. And it took a while, obviously, and then Raveraide happened. But more or less, it showed me that there are people that need help in this community. There are people who go to music festivals who have heavy vibrational things that they're carrying. They have, challenges in their outside life. And a lot of people use music festivals as escapism, myself included for a long time. And that's why I can speak on this, is because I know a lot of people, go to music festivals to have a great time. And it looks like they're having a great time. But when you look back and look deeper into the causation of that, are you going there with the intentionality to heal and become a better version of yourself? Or are you going there to escape your reality that you hate? Because I will tell you one thing, you can run from your problems as much as you'd like, but they're always going to be there until you step into your power and get to the place where you can firmly stand up and say, I'm going to address this head on. I have the strength, I have the emotional intelligence, I have the ability to stare at the truth for longer. I have the willingness to not disassociate and check out from my reality and step into, what it is that I need to do, my responsibility and duty to live the life that I want to live. And that's what I want for more people. But I think the issue that we run into is, we're not taught these things when we're young. We're not taught that to have intentionality. We're not taught to face our emotions. We're taught to numb them out, to disassociate, to distract ourselves, to look the other way, to avoid, to seek pleasure, to seek immediate gratification. And when we do that, guess what happens? We avoid and push and kick the can down the road, and we don't solve any of the systemic problems and root causes of why we are the way that we are. And it ultimately leads to more suffering, more unnecessary challenge in our life than we need to. Problems and things that we could deal with in the matter of, days, weeks, and months turn into years and decades because of the fact that people avoid, they check out, they numb themselves with food, they numb themselves with substances, they numb themselves with relationships where they want to take care of the other person, don't take care of themselves. Like, you name it. There's so many ways and outlets to escape your problems in this lifetime. And I can tell you right now confidently that if you're going to be somebody who really lives life to the fullest, someone who lives in congruence with their greatest potential, which is what Raveraide's all about. I created this company so that way I can use this as a platform and a guide to show you how to live a better life, to how to heal your traumas, how to identify triggers and emotional responses, so that way you can overcome those and gain a higher level of perspective and ultimately alchemize those as gifts. So then that way you can become what it is that you're meant to become. Because I believe personally that the reason that so many people have anxiety, depression, psychological disorders on this planet are, one, their bodies are being damaged through numerous different things, foods, environmental toxins, plastics, endocrine disruptors, you name it. Like, there's so many things, stress, jobs we hate. Like, the list just goes on and on and on. And so many people, struggle because their bodies aren't getting taken good care of. They don't know how to take good care of their bodies because they weren't taught how to. They don't know how to manage their emotions and stress at all. And, they just struggle day in and day out, and they're burning the candle at both ends, and they're not living in congruence, and their soul knows that they're not living in congruence, and they know that there's things that they need to be doing. They know that they need to step up and face that challenge or that problem, and they choose not to because they either think that they're not worthy enough, or they have a belief system, or they have something that's keeping them from stepping into that power. And I'm here to tell you, and I'm here to guide you and show you and teach you that by doing the work, by doing the healing, you're going to become something that is capable of, experiencing massive amounts of love. You are going to be one of those people who experience massive amounts of joy and abundance and prosperity and experiences and that new career and that new job and that new, just entire new life that is totally possible for you. And so that's what Raveraide is really about. That's the intention of what we're doing here. I love the products that we create here. We're going to continue to keep making better products. We're already making the best products in our category by far. Just as a small startup, we're already dusting the competition. And it's because we are passionate about what we're doing. And we also want to make sure that we're congruent, that our products help people on a physical level to get their bodies feeling good, to get their minds, congruent with what they're wanting in their life, to get their brainwave frequencies sorted out, to get them in a place where they're not in fight or flight all the time and stressing themselves out and living in survival mode. We're here to help push people to what is truly possible for their reality and their existence. And by doing that, it all starts fundamentally with the physical body. But going back to it, I see the beauty inside the EDM community. I've experienced the beauty. I still experience it to this day. I spend so much time with the people that mean the most to me. And I love the music. I love the diversity. I love the culture. I love the humor. I love the memes. I love the totems. I love every single thing about what this community embodies. But I also see the truth, and I'm not willing to look away from the truth. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of people go to music festivals and they do it for escapism. They do it to avoid in a lot of ways, when in reality they could go to the music festival with intentionality. They could go with the ideology that they're here to heal, they're here to become more, they're here to experience and give more love and receive more love and share abundance with others. And when they go with that intentionality, they get outside of themselves. They become greater than what they currently believe that they are. And when that happens, that is when change happens, because you gain a point of reference in your life where you have an experience, and it's so different than what you're used to experiencing. You're like, where'd that come from? How'd that happen? And as a result, people are like, okay, well, I want more of that. You start getting this positive feedback loop of, well, I'm loving more, I'm giving more love, I'm receiving more love, I'm communicating better, I'm being easier on myself, I'm expressing myself in a different way, I am, loving that inner child within myself. And as a result of that, I am having better experiences. And then you start breaking down and start seeing all of the mechanics for, psychologically and conscious and subconsciously why you have been the way that you've been and what your role has been and what you've created, because you are creating your entire reality. As you are listening to this right now with me, your reality is being created and you're in full control of that. And that is the thing, most importantly, that I want here at Raveraide for you to know, is that you are creating your entire reality. We are just serving a small piece of that as a catalyst for your change and growth and development. And if that's something you're not interested in, that's totally fine as well. If you just love our products for loving our products, that's totally great, because we're going to help you at the very least on a physical level. But a layer deeper, more that we have to offer, more that I have to offer, more that the team has to offer, is being able to help you navigate through this life experience, because we've been taught so many wrong things. We've been indoctrinated into things that are not truth. And my pursuit of the truth has pushed me towards creating this company, creating this podcast, speaking my truth, not being afraid to speak my truth. For the longest time, I wouldn't speak my truth because I was worried of being judged, or I was worried of not being good enough, or I was worried of being shunned, or being, canceled or shadow banned or whatever. And you know what? That's just not the way that I'm going to live my life. I'm committing to living my life in such a beautiful way and expressing my truth based on my life experiences that I had. So I see that the EDM community is a beautiful place. I see the potential for people to go to music festivals and actually literally energetically and physically, spiritually heal themselves, to become, to transcend, to have what I call transcendental breakthrough moments where you realize that you're so connected to life, you're connected to everyone around you, you are everyone around you, you are everything around you. And when you start living like that and you start getting those points of reference where you have this experience, then you have this experience, then you have this experience, then guess what's going to end up happening is you are going to completely change your entire life, because you realize that you can. And if anything, I just want to instill that belief into you that you can. And coming from where I come from and the experience that I've had, I'm not special. I just dedicated a lot of time into my self-development because nothing felt right to me when I was younger. Nothing made sense. And I just wanted to make sense of everything. I wanted to be able to understand the truth of everything. And it's taken me on a wild ride and a wild journey, and one that's probably going to take me on an even more, wild and crazy and fun journey. And I'm looking forward to every single moment of that, the highs, the lows, and everything in between, because of the fact that I want to experience life. I'm connected to life, and I want to teach you to do the same. But when your body's not in good health, when your mental health is beaten up, when your neurochemistry is not in a good place because of substances and all the things that vibrationally pull you down, then it's really hard to pull in all of the energy and the potential that you have to create. When you're holding on to emotions, when you're holding on to things that are of a dense vibration, it puts you in a place where it eats up a lot of your mental capacity and bandwidth. And when you free that part of yourself, when you heal that part of yourself, and when you love that part of yourself, it creates space. It creates potential, and it creates opportunity for you to create something new. It creates the ability for a new experience, something for you to be able to define your reality by, not anything of the past. And when you do that, that is how change happens. And I've gone through a lot of change in my life. I've gone through a lot of unpredictability. I've done a lot of these things. So when I speak from my personal experiences. I speak from what I perceive to be as truth. This isn't about left or right, race, religion, sexual orientation. It's about the truth. It's about unlocking human potential. It's about bringing everyone together to solve the problems that we face systemically as a culture and society. It's about supporting one another and valuing differences and supporting other people's journeys through life, because at the end of the day, we are all one. We are together in all of this. And the whole reason that we experience what we experience in this life of duality is because of the division, because people hate one another. They're chemically addicted to opposing other people and ideas and beliefs and viewpoints on life. When in reality, my belief is that we should all be able to experience life and do what we would like to do with our life. Use our free agency, use our sovereignty to be able to be more and do more, as long as it follows one core rule, which is that we do not impede others' abilities to do the same thing. And that's what I love so much about the EDM community, is because people go there to freely express themselves. And I also see the challenges and the struggles that a lot of people have because they don't have the proper education on what doing different substances does to your neurochemistry, what it does to your body, what it does to your mental health, as well as the good things that can come from it as well. Because without those things, I wouldn't be the person that I am, right here speaking to you right now. So just understanding that there is pros and cons to all experiences, and we believe in free choice here, and we want you to exercise your ability to freely choose. We're here for the human race. We're here for, expansion. We're here for freedom. And, since I've been super young, I've seen people who, live in fear. I used to live in so much fear of everything and everyone. And, my entire life was consumed in this cocoon of fear, and it kept me stuck in a predictable pattern of living in fight or flight. And I don't want that for people anymore. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for me. I don't want that for the world. I don't want that for any person living on this planet right now. But I will tell you, the only way that we're going to fix these problems is if you, the person who's listening to this or viewing this, steps up and owns their innate powers, abilities, and God-given gifts to be the best version of themselves that they can be. And guess what? It might take time. It's going to take time. But guess what? That's all you're here for. You're here to get to gain a deeper understanding of yourself and to learn how to love yourself more and learn how to love others more and express your unique gifts with the world. That's the only reason you're here. And you get to define what that is. And I was listening to reading a book, Man's Search for Meaning, and it talks about how man goes so far outside of himself to look for meaning. What's the meaning of life? What's the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life? And I have done that for a long time. I was always looking outside of myself for meaning. If I had this thing, if I did this thing, if I went to this place, if I did this, plant medicine, if I did this, then guess what? Maybe I'll understand more. I'll gain more of an insight on this. Maybe I'll get more of a meaning for life. And I have in a lot of ways. But you get to a point where life inverses that. And maybe the answer the whole time is that life is asking you what the meaning of life is, and it's your job to define that in your own unique way. And when you do that, it puts the power back into your hands. So I just wanted you to know what I'm doing this for, what we're doing this for, why we're creating this community. It's not just about a supplement. If it's just about a supplement, then I wouldn't be speaking in front of a camera. I would just be selling supplements. But that's not what we're here for. We sell the supplements because we want to help your body, we want to help heal your body, because the body can heal itself if you give it enough time, space, and a proper environment to do so. And our products definitely help with doing that. And so that's the reason we created the product, but it's so much more than that. It's about us educating. It's about sharing and encouraging and motivating you to take that leap, to step into the unknown, to heal that trauma, to face what it is that's been keeping you in predictable patterns and help you transcend that. So then that way you can live in your gift and go share that with somebody else, and they go share it with somebody else. And that's how we heal the entire planet, is if we had a percentage, not even everyone, just a percentage of our community, 5-10% of the entire world sharing their unique gift, it would encourage another 10, 20, 30% to do it, and then they would do it, and then they would do it. And before you know it, everybody's living in their gift. We're living in a more prosperous and abundant world, and this planet would be something that I know it can be. And that's why we're here. And my name's Tyler Hardy, and I love you. I love the planet. I love everything. I love existence. And that's something that I couldn't say a couple years ago. And so no matter where you're at, no matter who you are, just know that today is a great day for you to make change. Right now is the perfect time, because it is the only time that you have, the eternal now. And I know for a fact that if you follow us along on this journey and you are part of our family, we will help you become a more self-actualized, self-loved version of yourself, and you're going to live the life that you've always deserved. And I know that you're capable of this. So without further ado, guys, I'm wrapping today's episode up. Be sure to check us out at www.drinkraveraide.com. We've got some huge changes and shifts and pivots that we're making in the business right now that are just going to help us continue to grow, continue to give you guys better offers, continue to help you guys heal and become the best version of yourself. Every single thing that we're doing always has the intention of helping you and making you better in any way that we can possibly make that a reality for you. So I hope you guys have an amazing, blessed day. Be sure to integrate whatever felt true to you and really focus on bringing that into your present reality, so that way you can make that lasting change. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing day. I love each and every one of you guys, and peace.